Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. So in this video I am going to talk about this book. Oh my gosh, the glare. Okay, I think this looks better. The Poisonwood Bible by Barbara Kingsolver. I think this book really sets the bar really high for what kind of books that I would consider as 5 stars. Before that I used to be like really generous, and then this book came and I was like, okay, this is 5 stars, and my past 5 stars can be, I don't know, 4 or 3 stars. But yeah, this book is just it pretty much became one of my all-time favorite books, and that says a lot. And so I'm really happy to just kind of talk about this book in this video. Now I must say that I have this tiny confession. So I feel slight or maybe plenty of pressure, especially when it comes to talking about things that I find really great, really awesome, really cool, because I don't know if my commentary is going to do that thing justice. And this is kind of like what I'm feeling right now. Plenty of trepidation in this video, talking about this book. And but I think I'm just gonna try anyway. Hopefully it will work out great. So yeah, let's start. The Poisonwood Bible is a domestic fiction. It's a family fiction. It's about this American family called the Price family. And the Price family consists of the dad, Nathan Price, who is a preacher, and his wife, Orleana Price. And they have 4 daughters, Rachel, Leah, and Etta. They are twins. And also the youngest, Ruth May. Now this American family, they originally came from Georgia, and one day the father decided that they should move to a village in the Congo. And this whole thing happens in the 1960s. And at that time, Congo was still under the rule of the Belgians. And so it was still the Belgian Congo. And the reason for why this family moved to Congo is because the father, being a preacher, he felt that it was kind of like his calling to preach about Christianity and Jesus in that place in Congo. So essentially he wants to spread religion. And the whole move was pretty much his idea, what he wants to do, and the rest of the family just tagged along. Now later when you read this book, you'll see that this family is in fact really dysfunctional, and it's mainly dysfunctional due to the fact that the father, Nathan Price, is actually a pretty abusive and misogynistic person. And the rest of the family being all being women, the mom and the 4 daughters, they just pretty much follow whatever this dad says. Whatever he says is something that they have to kind of abide by in their daily lives. So they have this constant pressure. So it is not really surprising that they just follow with that plan and move to Congo. But the thing is, when they decide, or when the father decides that the family moves to Congo, that is going to change the lives of this entire family, their entire life. And it's going to change their lives in ways that are not so savory. So this book is a tragedy. It does not have a traditional happy ending. So yeah, something awful is going to be expected. But I really like the way that we see the progression of this family from the starting, when they just arrived in Congo, and how they deal with their lives there, and how they kind of mature, each of the family members, especially the mom and the daughters, how they just kind of grow from a different person to an evolved developed person. All of these characters, they all each have very, very different personalities. And I would say that this book is actually narrated by 5 different voices. And so all of these 5 women, they narrate a portion in this book. So this book is divided into a few sections, and each of the sections have several sub-chapters. And each of the sub-chapters would be narrated by different voices from these 5 women. And I think that's really interesting because it makes this book, it feels kind of inherently feminine. Each of those chapters, each of those narrators, even though they're all women, but they all sound different. So it's not like just because it's feminine, it's all the same. You can see so many different voices because of their different personalities. So you have the mom, who is somewhat more level-headed, who is the matriarch of the family, and also quite stoic. You have the eldest, Rachel, who is a little bit more ditzy and I might even say somewhat prejudiced and racist. And then you have Leah, who is somewhat naive and who actually starts out in the book as someone who really worships her father, but then later on she realizes that there's something wrong in her feelings towards her father and how she sees her family. And then we have Ada, who is a disabled character, and she suffers from hemiplegia as a child, and then as a result, half of her body is really difficult for her to mobilize. And as a result of that, she has a totally different worldview compared to all the other characters. And we also have the youngest daughter, who is really just very young, around 5-6 years old, Ruth May, and we see the story based on her really childish and innocent lens. And all of these voices, they kind of tell slightly different story from different angles, but they all just coming together really cohesively, and it all just comes together really well. Now, this book also has a really strong historical fiction element to it. Basically, this book takes place mostly in the Congo, and it was around that time that the Congo was trying to fight for its independence from the Belgium. And there are plenty of scenes in this book that touches upon the historical events that were happening at the time concerning the Congo and the colonizers, the Belgians, and also the Americans as well. But the thing is, when I got into this book, I did not actually have any knowledge on these at all. I did not even expect that it would go into that much detail when it comes to this historical side of the story. But even with that circumstance, I was still able to really enjoy this book because it does not really punish you if you don't know any of those things, if you don't have any prior knowledge on history of the Congo, for example. Of course, if you have those knowledge, you would probably feel that your reading is enriched. But yeah, I was able to savor this book even without knowing all that. So I think that really speaks volumes on how this book is able to kind of convey the story and also convey the historical setting without actually alienating the readers who don't have any knowledge on the setting, on the history. Another thing that I find really awesome with this book is that the writing is just really compassionate, which is something that I really love. It treats a lot of really heavy subjects like racial discrimination, abuse, religion, especially when it comes to abuse of religion and religious intolerance, colonization. It even talks about nature and all of these topics in such a way that is full of compassion. So I guess that's it. Those are the things that I have to say about this book for now. And yeah, it's a really nice book, and I guess that's it. So I'll see you again in a different video. So until then, take care. Thanks for watching, and bye.